All right. Very excited.
Is this gonna? I feel like the first part of it, part one of part one should be JV Squad guests.
That's fine. We'll soften them up.
Yeah. Well,
this feels like the fact that we're not even all here feels very JV. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Joe's got his Steven Tyler microphone going.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have a cover like us. So he made his own, which 100% looks like a dildo.
It's like a ghost, but without a white cloth. It's like a.
Yeah. Why did they have those ball ghosts? Oh, I have to admit, Steve. Hold on.
Okay.
To the mental hospital.
Nice.
Because he has coronavirus.
The
brain.
We're just talking about.
Here we go. iPhone.
Steverine.
Stevie's. Oh, he's up in the bobblehead
Stevie
room.
Nicks.
How do I use this gosh darn thing?
Right, let's see.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, I think he's
a name. He's just a name, guys, and it's fine.
So he's got to figure out his audio. It's all good. So, obviously, like for people listening, this is torture, but we have our good friend Steve Arena coming in, and him plus Taylor Allen is the Callin The Shots podcast, folks.
Yes, this is part one of our 2-part series. Sort of a synergy, not 2-part, but like you can listen to the other half on the other podcast of each.
Sure,
it makes sense.
We're gonna split
synergy.
It. Yeah,
this is synergy that we're doing between the two.
Which I feel like maybe I wanted to bring this up in the beginning, guys, if you don't mind. I just wanted to say that maybe you were talking about synergy. Maybe we should, because I felt like there's going to be a lot of audio drops in this, a lot of songs, a lot of different things that we're going to add and post. So I felt like maybe synergy would be a good place to start. We could both, respectively come up with a song about synergy.
Okay,
that's fun. I would say that
or maybe just a sound clip. It doesn't have to be a song, but like it could be just a little synergy jingle.
I would say that I want to put Joe in charge of any songs that are getting made for this week.
Okay.
I'm a little songed out.
You're
right
songed
now.
out.
Yeah, you've been doing enough songs.
You did
lately.
the skeleton thing, which I watched today, and let me just say, I loved it so much. Really, genuinely, really, it was great.
I'm gonna put it in my calendar to do.
It's not that I'm songed out. I just think Joe's been creaming for the songs lately. He's been bringing it up that we don't make songs for the podcast as much anymore.
What you're saying, Casey, is that Joe hasn't been doing enough.
No. I'm just.
No, I get it.
I think no. It's more that I'm doing too much.
Enter my arena. I'm your Taylor, and I'm all in. It's not Adam and Eve. It's Taylor and Steve, and Casey and Joe. We're combining our shows into this liturgy. It's synergy. This liturgy. It's synergy. This liturgy. It's synergy. I like sports, and sports likes me. I'm the sportiest guy in history. Boxing is a sport that I like the most, and I like to box my shadow, yeah, I like to box my ghost. It's liturgy. This synergy, it's liturgy. It's synergy. This liturgy, it's synergy. This is my creed. This is my speed. I'm taking the lead. I'm planting the seed. I'm smoking the weed. I'm drinking my pee. I'm Adonis and I'm honest. My favorite movie is Creed 1. Yeah, Creed 1 is the best movie. Check it, Creed 1. Not 2. Not Rocky, that's cocky. Creed 1, Creed 1, Creed 1.
Steve.
Yo.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
I'm here. I made it.
Do you have pods? You got pods?
I got pods. Yeah.
Bro, when'd you get pods?
I got pods for Christmas.
You didn't
Shout
tell me
out to
that.
Andy Arena.
Oh,
Yeah, my
brother. Oh, brother in LA. Shout out to Andy Arena in LA. Living the Hollywood life.
Has everybody talked already about how they're named poorly?
Yeah. No, I've talked about my shitty name on your
like
podcast.
you should be Alan Taylor, and you should be Arena
No,
Steve.
no, I mean AirPods.
Oh, I thought you meant
Is
their
that what they're
first names.
called?
I did too.
They're called
AirPods.
AirPods because they mess everything up. Apple started making these things called iPods, and that was like a music player. And then they made or earbuds, I think, were what those regular ones that that plug in.
And then they made the movie Air Bud, which was the retriever basketball movie.
That's what those should be called, earbuds, or
AirBuds.
iBuds, but that's probably taken by now. So they messed it up.
iBud sounds like a disease that you would get on an alien planet.
Which one, iBuds?
Yeah, like something that would spring out of your eyes.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
but
By
I
the
don't
way,
know what
guys,
that is.
By the way, I'm starting the film now. I'm just so the people know.
Okay.
I'm just starting it.
Yeah,
just so I can reference
Is
it.
anybody else
explain-
watching it? Just you?
I mean, I'm watching it. I don't know.
I watched it. I watched it last night. So, all right. So, for the
Me too.
people who are just tuning in, or we've never discussed this aside from just texts, but we've been wanting to watch Creed 2 together,
For years, I think.
I would say 2 years probably.
Yeah.
like way before it came out. Like
When
I
did it
think,
come out?
I think
It's
since
definitely- it was certainly before it came out,
it was since I went on your podcast and we watched Rocky 4, which
is like 3 years ago.
yeah,
Right.
and that's Rocky versus Ivan Drago, who killed Apollo Creed, who
Yeah.
is Creed, Adonis Creed's
Michael
father.
B. Jordan.
And
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen Rocky. The only Rocky movie I saw was Rocky Balboa
Right. Which
Really?
Which is crazy.
in 2006.
I know.
Well, you just saw Rocky 4 pretty much if you
Right.
watched Creed 2.
If I just said that.
But
Yeah.
everyone knows that in the American canvas that is everyone knows the story of Ivan Drago
sure.
and Apollo Creed.
I must break you. If he dies, he dies. You
Yeah.
know the
All right. That
hot-
goes
Yeah,
into
I
a
mean, there's
wonderful
children's books.
Yeah, that's a great way to start because one of my biggest problems with this movie was there was no, and I think the last one too, there's no like, as they go up and they go like toe to toe to like, check in
Mhm.
like they do in every Rocky movie. There's
Yeah.
iconic lines in the Rocky franchise. Like
Yes.
one of my favorite ones, and I think we've talked about this, is Clubber Lang. He says,
Hey
Anyone?
Rocky.
He goes, dead meat. And then they then that's like how they start
Right.
the fight. Ivan
Right.
Drago says, he goes, I must break you,
Right.
which is incredible.
Is classic. Yeah, it's like a classic moment in the Rocky films. It's probably I would say the pinnacle of the Rocky series, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion. I know I liked Rocky 3 a lot too. I'm now watching Ivan Drago tape up his son's hands. So Creed 2 is I guess the story of Ivan Drago's son. Ultimately, like the main premise of the movie is that Ivan Drago's son fights Apollo Creed's son. So it's like this kind of revenge situation. And right off the bat, I'm just gonna spoiler alert. My review, I loved it. I loved it so much.
Spoiler alert, I loved it.
I thought it was
Insane.
okay. I thought it was okay. I like the first Creed better.
I didn't see the first Creed.
Yeah, I didn't see the first
Really?
Creed either.
You guys are crazy.
I saw it.
Yo, you got to see the first Creed. It's a classic boxing
It's
movie.
so funny that Joe has not seen any Rocky movies, and we have all not seen Creed 1.
Can't believe you guys haven't seen Creed.
Honestly, I it's really hard for me to like take his opinion on this because like I just immediately veto it. But at the same time, like it's probably what he does with every other movie for me. It's
Right.
like I'm such a bad movie person. Like his opinion probably weighs more in general.
Right.
But in this one aspect, I would say that I don't care if he's like you got Creed 2's or Creed 1's better than 2.
But it was. I really thought it was.
I don't think so. There's a whole scene. The scene that really took me out of it is like the one where like instead of like, the dun, 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 where like Rocky's like running and there's kids like gonna fly now.
Yeah,
It's like this like trap remix with like
It was
ATVs
sick.
in the street.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
in
that was
Creed
cool.
1. Though.
I mean,
you saw that.
it's not a perfect movie.
I've seen the trailer even for and Creed 2. The title just popped
You
up.
want
on
to
the
talk
screen.
about corny when he's being introduced in Russia?
That was my only beef of the whole movie is what you're going to talk
Yeah.
about when she's singing.
Yes.
Yeah, when she's singing and
That
there's
was corny, yes.
ass like entrance.
But
Russia?
Tessa
I
or
cried. I cried, by the way, in that scene. I cried.
so I text Casey
was
like
bad, right?
when
I
I
told you.
watched it like
No, I
a few
loved
nights
it.
ago, And I had watched like 15 minutes of it, and I texted him, and this is legitimately honest, everything. I was like, I just started Creed 2, 15 minutes in. I cried twice, and that's the truth. First cry came actually, my favorite part of the movie is happening right now, where she walks up to Creed and says, "Did you take a shit before the fight?" Like
that was sweet. That was sweet.
Right to me, I was like, "This is a real ass thing." Like, did you shit? Like, we've obviously dealt with something before. I like that a lot, but that was the first time I cried.
I think that the movie peaked early. That was the best part of the movie.
That was immediately your favorite part.
I love that part.
It was great, and then but the first time I cried, I think, was when he proposes to her, because I felt like it was very real and cool. I don't know, I really liked it, and
I guess spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
No, dude,
yeah, I mean, this whole
let's
thing
just say
is
it now.
be,
We're gonna just talk about Creed 2.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while. That's almost the benefit of us not doing this sooner.
Yeah, right. This has been out for a few years.
And honestly, if you haven't seen it, you can still listen. I think it's fine.
Steve, did you like the movie?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, because
I'm the only one.
I think it doesn't even matter if you knew what was going to happen. Like, you could spoil it all you want. I think you knew from the beginning what was going to happen.
Right. I guess it was a bit predictable,
which
is maybe why Joe didn't like it.
Like, in the middle of it, I watched half of it one night, half the next night. And after I watched the first half, I was like, something's going to happen. Like, his wife's going to die. Something's going to happen to his mom. Like, something to change it up. But nothing.
You know what? I had a theory.
His baby with the hearing.
Right.
That was and that is another point where I cried.
But they kind of dropped that. But I still love what Rocky said.
Where was the baby? Sorry.
Yeah. No. All right. So real quick, I just and a theory that I had early on, like right before the fight started, I was like, it's too early in the movie for this fight. I was like, what's probably going to happen is like, you know, Creed will beat him. Like, it'll be like more of a Rocky 3 style thing.
Okay.
But I'm not saying Creed. Sorry, Drago will beat Creed, and it'll be more like a Rocky 3 Clubber Lang thing. But I was like, but what if? And I said this to Lisa, if Adonis Creed kills Drago.
That'd be great.
I was like, he kills him, and then he's like sort of like hated in boxing, and he
it's
needs
like a 45-minute movie as well.
He needs to box Ivan Drago.
Yeah, or like no. It's like I'm serious. I thought like maybe this would be the plot. So he kills him because he goes too far, because he's like all like, you know, mad at like because of his father, all this stuff, and then he has to like sort of like the crowd hates him, and he has to sort of get back. He's like kind of like hated in boxing and has to like crawl his way back up and like
prove that he's like an actual
and it's like I was like, that's a weird movie, but maybe that's it, and I was happily wrong. And then so Drago's disqualified because he like punched him as he was down and stuff, right? And the other thing you said, Steve, is that it, you know, at first when you said like, oh, it's like it's kind of a replay of Rocky 4, but instead of it being Apollo fights, dies, and then Rocky has to beat him, what's nice is it's all Adonis having to do that. He gets killed, basically, and then he has to be Rocky, and that's amazing.
Right.
That is next level.
I think what another thing that and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think another thing that you're kind of alluding to is that, and we talked about this when Casey was on, and when we talked about Rocky 4, is that like there are these montage moments in this movie where I think it was also in Creed 1 that you were talking about, Joe. It was like the ATV or the whatever, I forget if it was ATV or dirt bikes montage or whatever it was.
It was everything. It was the ATVs,
but
motorcycles.
in this new one where he has that montage where like eventually it kicks off where he's like running super fast, and
oh my
god,
that
is like the fucking best thing ever. And it's one of those montage Rocky moments. Like that's what it is.
I don't know why. I thought the
did
montage
that yesterday.
Oh, you did?
I feel like I hear Lisa like wanting to chime in on this in the background. She's like, that fucking moment. I don't know.
She loved it. She loved that. She was like, when he was running, and she was like, she literally said like, do you think that he could have been an athlete if he wasn't?
Oh my god!
And I was like, he is an athlete, right? And she was like, well, no, he's an actor. Like, it's very different.
Sure, but like how he became an athlete, I feel like, when he did this, because do you see how like when he's finally running at the end of that montage, he is he's enormous, and he's big in the movie, but like at that point where he's running on the road, he's huge. He's a good Adonis, and he's a god. He's a
He
god.
looked like
and
Michael
I'll-
John. Remember when Michael Johnson won the Olympics for running?
I'm glad that you said whatever you were just going to say because I was about to get real dirty with Michael B. Jordan. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to
describe more of his
killmonger his
body to
dick. But when he's running like
Traps.
that uphill, that like up
Yeah.
right running, that's like
Yes.
that was like that Michael John. Remember was his name Michael Johnson, the track runner from like the Olympics, like over a decade ago. Who,
Are they in the same
Yeah.
class? Are they really in the same class? I felt like Don Drago. What was his name?
Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Victor
Vincent?
Drago.
Victor.
Oh, Victor.
I feel like he was like way taller than Michael B. Jordan.
And
That's weird,
huge
right?
as well.
But
Yeah.
the
Like,
BMI.
But Michael B was a little bit quicker, maybe at that. I don't know.
No,
I
but
mean, I
like,
don't know
would
what
they be in the
boxing's
same
a-
class? I don't know boxing either. Yeah, Joe brings up a good point.
That's
like
a good point.
heavyweights, maybe it's like a certain weight and above. Like there's no, like it's like
Right. There's no limits.
230 plus,
Okay.
maybe
Yeah,
something
maybe.
like that. Just
Dude,
to
how
guess.
big was that? How big was Drago? It was. I would say that Drago's muscle mass is equal to the mass that is Sylvester Stallone's face in this
Yes.
weird fucking. How crazy is his face in this movie? There's moments where I'm like, what is happening
It's
with?
like a tectonic plate shift. You're watching it happen as the movie goes on. His face kind of
it's
widens
constantly
even more.
moving. He looks as though he has been a real boxer for years, and he's an actor. He's
I
an
know.
actor. It's weird.
I found out a lot of insane things. One
Please.
is so at the end of the movie, spoiler, he reconnects with his son, and I was like, I
Sure.
never saw Rocky Balboa, and apparently he's in that one.
Yeah,
But I
they
was like,
connect in that movie. Yeah, I don't know what the deal
yeah,
is.
I don't know either. But so I looked back, I was like, I wonder if he's the same son as Rocky V, and in Rocky
Oh.
V, that's Sage Stallone, who is Sylvester Stallone's oldest son, who died in 2013 for like a cardiac
What?
thing.
Whoa.
Very
What?
sad, very very sad.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
But I didn't know either. Rocky V is his real son.
Oh my god, what if
And
that's
I think-
heavy too? Because that's
Yeah.
like a lot about his son. Like the movie is
I know.
primarily.
And now the guy from NBC plays his son,
Who's that? That
Milo
guy?
Ventimiglia.
He's from
Yes.
NBC.
He was in Heroes and This Is Us.
Heroes,
What
yeah.
else do you know him from?
I've never seen. I know.
I
I've
think
never seen him in
Hero-
my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've
I
I've
thought
never
you
seen
were
him.
into Hero- You're not a Heroes guy?
Peter and Heroes?
No.
I saw it.
Yeah,
Heroes
Peter?
is a good one.
I never saw it.
I forget Heroes, but I think
Yeah, I'm like kind of like gluten free at these points, so I don't really do a lot of heroes.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, this guy. Is this
So-
where we switch it over to Callin The Shots?
I just feel like they didn't establish what went wrong. This Rocky character has quite a backstory. I'd like to know more about him.
Joe? Joe, you got.
What?
But I feel like, yeah, you know what, though? I feel like you're right. You're fine. You're good.
So,
I
but-
mean, you feel like you can walk in. Joe, did you feel like you walked into this and you were like, I get what's going on? Or were you lost?
No, I saw Creed 1. I saw Rocky Balboa. And everyone knows about Apollo and Ivan. So
Okay.
yeah, I
like
played the Rocky
Ro-
video game on PlayStation 2, so I knew
Oh,
about
so you
Clubber
definitely
Lang.
have a good frame of reference.
Yeah.
he's
What's
more
great
he's
about
more
Rocky-
well versed. Yeah. All right, sorry. Go on, Steve.
What's great about Rocky is that you could just tune into any movie. I don't think you need to see the others to really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a sitcom.
It's a
you
saga.
Can watch the other ones and it makes it a little bit better, but you
It's
can
a
just tune in
sitcom,
at any
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Here's my test of if Creed 2 is as good as the other Rockies. If there's a fight, if there's a boxing match, do I stand up? Yes. In Creed 2, as soon as it starts fighting, I have to stand up and watch it like in a standing position, like clinching and like, come on. I have to.
You have now graduated from edge of your seat to off of your seat,
I have to.
standing. I know.
have to.
Yeah.
Every time.
Kind of with it. Yeah. You're like pacing around and it's intense. It is.
I almost
Here-
punched my wife as we were watching the movie.
Yeah. You know, domestic
that.
abuse is actually like on the rise because
high.
of the
It's
quarantine.
very
so,
high
yeah,
Because
right
of Creed
now.
2, yeah.
because of Creed 2 is what I meant.
So close.
Creed
Wasn't it
2, they
weird?
say, yeah.
Another
Steve, what are you
spoiler.
drinking? What do you, Steven? I feel like Steven and Joe are maybe drinking similar items. Meet that's Steve. Oh, Casey.
Yeah, it's
I-
just
I made
vodka.
a-
Oh
for-
wait, or can
because of
can
because
Joe
of-
and Steve cheers?
That's all vodka? Oh,
because
Joe's
of
has
Drago.
I made
Cheers.
another.
can't
It's
see
a
you, Joe,
rum
but
perfect
cheers.
Manhattan. Cheers.
Guys, is there a pause on this? Or no? Should we just, you guys.
yeah,
I
there
have-
is.
So bad. Is there a pause, or you want to just keep going and I'll just go pee?
Do you have to
Well, you
pee?
gotta take a piss.
You're gonna
Well, I got to
Pee
pee, and then
behind
I
the
was going to
shed?
also get another drink.
Well, I think we're going to take a break at some point because this will run out in like in 20 minutes or something.
Do you have like the limited time?
Yeah, 40
thing?
minutes. Yeah.
Can I, if I may?
Yeah.
Taylor
did the-
splurged.
I splurged because we had a Major League Baseball player on Calling the Shots yesterday.
There you go.
So I got the full thing. So I could do like however much time.
Who
Which
was
player
Ricky,
was it?
Rick
Yeah.
Vaughn?
It was Todd Frazier from the Yankees / Mets / Reds / many other
White
teams.
Sox.
Super nice
Rangers
guy.
now.
I wish we
Wow.
did a thing where we had Joe guest players until we got it.
I wouldn't have. I mean, we would have run out of time on Zoom.
Yeah, that's true. I was just going to try to think of if we could maybe just think of another player that you could just guess. But
Darryl Strawberry.
that's it. That was it. That was the one that I
Ken
was.
Griffey Sr.
I also was upset today, and I wanted to let you guys know before we started that I didn't get the package today, but I'm expecting a Jody Sellers shirt in the mail. And I thought I maybe would get it today because it was like a week and a half ago that he said he was going to send it. So I thought maybe today would be the day and I could wear it, like just surprise you guys, but it didn't work out.
This is perfect
been
time.
nice.
This is perfect
More
timing. So you
base.
should go pee, and then we'll tell Steve all about Jody
please.
Sellers.
Okay, do that,
Please,
and
yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
lost.
back.
Okay, so Steve, do you need any lawyers or like law counseling?
Legal advice is the term.
Not at the moment, but if I watch Creed 2 again, possibly.
Are you watching Better Call Saul, Steve?
No.
That's
Why?
about a lawyer.
Okay.
And he reminds me of Jody because he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. You know, Saul Goodman is a dirty lawyer, and it reminds me of Jody Sellers.
Explain, Joe.
Because he'll fight for you, tooth and claw.
What he means is like he won't do anything dirty practices
No.
wise.
On the up and up.
He'll like work so hard that he like doesn't have time to shower. He'll get really stinky from just working so hard, looking over your case, making sure that you know what you're doing. And Jody Sellers is at the Sellers Law Firm, which is in Griffin, Georgia.
Matter of
And-
fact, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, rumor has it, that Jody has not left his office since the quarantine. He's quarantined himself in the office. because
Working
he's that
hard for his
dedicated.
clients.
Yeah.
Just working on cases.
He
That's
hasn't
it.
showered.
Just stack of papers.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool, Steve, is like with those earbuds, you could call 770-415-9848. That's
770-415-9848.
That's right. And it's the Sellers Law Firm, LLC, which I think is backwards on the screen right now. But
No, it
you
looks
should
good.
I
follow
can
Follow
see
him.
it.
You should follow him on Instagram and maybe even give him a call and just tell him, hey, thank you for spending so much time working for your clients. One day I hope to be a client. I hope I get into some big legal trouble and need law counseling, as what I call it.
Yeah. And
So
you're
what
not,
does he
you-
specialize in?
Funny you
Family
ask.
law.
Yeah.
So all kinds of things, such as divorces,
Get
Like
together.
divorces.
bills.
I I feel like he could be
Did someone
You
say
could use it.
divorce?
Family
after
reunions.
the quarantine. Don't you guys think there's going to be a lot of divorces after this quarantine?
Yeah. And babies.
Or
of
like
the
babies and
emancipations?
divorces.
Like
do you think
emancipation,
babies?
like-
Do you guys think babies?
It's funny you say that
Depends.
because
Yeah.
I was
Oh, definitely.
specifically thinking of you, Casey, when because I know you guys were like trying to figure out like yay or nay.
Yeah.
It's a scary time to think about. Yeah, my sister is due in 2 weeks.
That's
she's
quick.
kinda
She
like-
got pregnant and got kid out quick.
Well, she's due soon, but she's like, is this? She's like she's a bit nervous about it.
Yeah, I think like my thought with asking if there is going to, because I feel like people are so petrified that they're like, what is this world? We don't have jobs. Like we probably shouldn't have a baby.
Yeah.
So it's like
But-
they're almost
but-
like, let's wrap it up.
The first
people
week,
don't really
everyone was
try.
fucking. Everyone was fucking the first
How do
week,
you
'cause
know
it was
why?
like, this is fun. It was like a snow day.
Yeah.
I think morale was high at first. 'cause
first.
We
I
couldn't
think
see
you're right.
we couldn't see over the horizon, you know?
Right. And
This world's always been fucked, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
people are just fucking for the hell of it out there.
Hmm.
people
hope
are
so.
fucking for the for the feel of it too. I think because it feels
Yeah,
good.
For the love of it.
Sex.
Yeah. Which is
Um,
always kind of how we segue out of a Jody Sellers.
I was gonna say, is this still a seller's law firm?
Speaking of knocked up, another spoiler, Adonis's wife is pregnant in this movie. That's a plot point. He has the kid you mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
who wears, I think, earbuds at the end, so she is deaf,
Oh my
right?
god.
And
She does, or he? Oh, the kid does.
yeah, the kid, right?
Kid wears
forget.
earbuds. Yeah, Joe. The kid wears earbuds at the end.
Isn't it weird that like
That
the
deaf
mom
people
let
wear
her,
earbuds.
the mom was like kind of called that she was pregnant, but gave her a glass of wine anyway.
I mean,
I don't. Did she give her the wine?
Maybe
Or,
she
I don't know.
figured it out halfway
That's a
through
good
the
point.
dinner.
also another thing too is I guess that another thing with pregnant women is that they can have like, I mean, from the doctor that I've spoken with was like, you could have a glass of wine every night if you
You
want,
can have,
which
like a couple
my
shots,
wife did
yeah.
not, but like you can't. It's like you
No, I
could
know,
just
I've
like
heard
drink a
that.
bottle of, but yeah, you could have like a
A
glass
glass
of wine
and a
here
cigarette a day. Yeah, it's all.
and there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
If you put the
One,
cigarette
only
in the
one.
wine, it
It
definitely
worked in the
doesn't count.
70s.
I also feel like movies don't show enough sex with pregnant women. I feel like they showed them
Yes.
like when they celebrated One Life event when they got engaged, and they
Have you
fucked
had
on-
sex with a pregnant woman yet, Joe?
Not yet.
That's why you know why it's not in the movie.
Oh, really? But you don't think
Oh,
they would
yeah.
have celebrated? I don't know. I think movies need to destigmatize pregnant sex.
No, once
with
it gets
Joe
to
on
a
this.
certain level, once it gets to a certain level, it starts to get really weird, and I'm sure Taylor would second that.
I'll be honest with you, and not to give too much away of my personal life, because I know all those shot callers out there are just wondering about all this, but I love it. I thought the pregnant stuff I was way into it. So I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's a 50-50.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
yeah. I was all about it.
I think movies need to do more about pregnant sex. There's not
Pregnant
enough of
love.
it in
But like just like
future
the
films.
Joe.
Oh,
The-
Joe,
besides
if you
your-
like
logistics of it
pregnant
all.
sex, Joe, you should definitely watch Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, why they do? Oh, so they honor it.
it's
so
that's
please.
basically all it is.
They
Yeah.
Watch
honor
those
it in those.
movies.
Okay.
Do you
Joe,
think you're defiantly not watching those movies intentionally?
Because I didn't know there was pregnant sex in it.
No, but in general.
No, I kind of just haven't gone. Part of it is like I'm less excited because in my mind I know the beats because it's been part of pop culture for so long. So I
Yeah,
feel like if
but-
I'm gonna sit and watch a movie, I want to watch something that's fresh completely. You know?
Yeah,
So
but I think
besides-
like it's like you got to look at it as like a Goodfellas or a Godfather or
Yeah, you're right.
you know, because it is. Here's another thing. Jumping back into the movie, I think that as a character, Rocky is more impressive than Creed.
Yeah.
Because Creed, I think, is not the farthest stretch. I think like
But-
from as a character to Michael B. Jordan, whereas
Yeah.
like Sylvester Stallone, of course, like he kind of sounds like Rocky, but like his Rocky is he took a big swing when he wrote and played Rocky
Sure.
in Rocky 1. He's a weirdo.
We've also watched his whole arc from 1 to now. So you've seen this guy with his dumb hat go through this whole thing, and he's still wearing that big, which I feel like has gotten bigger, maybe, or maybe his head's gotten smaller. I don't know, but like the hat is definitely, to me,
That's his
moving
thing,
off
huh?
a bit in this movie. But that's
I
his
thought
thing.
he
yeah,
started doing that in Rocky Balboa.
did-
I thought
he-
that was like a late period.
No, this was.
Well, he
from-
kind of stopped it in like he did it in Rocky 1, and then like Paulie kind of took
Look
over
at
for
Joe.
that
He's
hat.
like, he's so cute. He's like, I just said it. I don't care. I know.
You guys have a hat like that? Is that a fedora?
Guys, I
think
swear
it's
to
a pork
God,
pie.
I wanted to come on. I wanted to get. It's been upgraded. Oh,
What does that mean? It
Did you
said
do
that
that,
last
Casey?
time too.
No, it said
Are
it
you
last
paying?
time. No.
Oh, okay. It said. I was gonna say I wanted to come on with that hat, and also I was gonna put like a black eye, like just for to be fun, but I didn't do it either of those things. I don't have the hat, first of all, and then the black eye. I was like, if I don't have the hat, what's the black eye gonna do?
It's a pork pie hat, I believe.
It's a pork pie.
Oh,
hat, yeah.
It's actually not. It's actually
No?
a fedora.
Really?
So yeah, if you look at the two on
Spoiler alert.
Google, the pork pie hat is more of the Breaking Bad guy hat.
Okay. Sure. You're right. It's
Whereas-
rounder. It's almost rounder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
Rocky's
the fedora
got
is a little
the
bit
head really
more
is that big.
pointed. Yeah.
yeah. Heisenberg.
Okay. Can we all agree? Because I am watching it now. That Dolph Lundgren is still such a good-looking dude.
He's so handsome.
Such a handsome guy, man. He looks
didn't
great. He
think
looks
he-
better in this movie than he
Rock
did in
solid.
Rocky 4.
I
And by
didn't
the
think
way-
he'd be in the movie this much.
Oh my God, he was great. I felt like he was really good in it. Also,
Yeah, me too.
did you guys ever hear of a movie called Command Performance?
No.
Yes, I have. I've never seen it.
Okay, so it's Dolph Lundgren. He plays a drummer of a rock band.
Whoa.
That plays a concert. I forget where, maybe in Russia or somewhere like that, and maybe Russia. But when he plays, the band gets taken hostage. A bunch of terrorists come in and take the whole concert hostage.
Awesome.
He kills people like with drumsticks, and it's insane. It is the fucking craziest movie you have.
What's it called? Command Force.
Command Performance.
Command Performance, which is a phrase apparently that I've never heard of. Like they were trying to pass that off like everyone knows what that means, but that's
right. It's pretty vague. Yeah, it's.
I think I remember seeing this. I remember seeing this at Blockbuster, and I remember seeing The Thing.
I have it. I could mail it to you.
But I remember.
Not in these times, Taylor.
That's true. That's true.
Actually, no. I there's no way I saw it in Blockbuster. It was 2009. But I remember seeing the cover and being like Command Performance. So like I thought like he played in the marching band of right. the army. Like Command, you know what I mean? Like or something. And then that's how it happened. Like
he's a drummer, by the way, if you're looking at that photo.
There's nothing musical about it.
Right.
About this photograph.
You have to watch it.
Yeah, it's just a diehard font and everything.
It's fantastic. It's
dying is easy, rock and roll is hard. That's the tagline.
You know how there are the movies that are like Sharknado where they know it's bad, so they try to make it like corny and it is what it is. But like this is a movie, it's one of those beautiful movies where they tried to make a really good like action movie and it's so bad and that's what makes it good, in my opinion.
How long
what if we never talk
recording?
Again? Like we were just quiet for the rest.
That was it.
I'm saying, is this a good time to go to part 2?
I don't know. Is there a time thing on Zoom? That was going to ask you guys.
No.
Is there like a time clicker?
I don't
see one. But...
I bet it's been 40 minutes because that thing came up.
Oh, you know what? I could tell you from Creed 2, where I am in Creed 2.
There you go.
There you go.
Because I started it, like 10 minutes after we started?
Don't know.
Something like that, probably. So we're probably 35, 40 minutes in to this.
Cool.
So definitely, we could swap over.
Sweet. All right. Now that's when we move on to the other side. So it was all clunky, and now it's about to get professional.